Hello, and welcome to a very special, wonderfully quiet bedtime explainer. Tonight, we're going to gently follow a tiny mouse's journey through a very big house. So let's just softly dive right into this incredibly cozy story and see what we can discover about the search for the absolutely perfect place to rest.
So, are you ready to tuck in and explore the house with a very sleepy mouse? Go ahead and pull your blankets up, get extra cozy, and imagine you're exploring right alongside our little hero. We're going to carefully track his adventure step by step, lighting the way softly in the dark.
Part 1. The Cozy Mouse Hole. Home Sweet Home.
You see, our story actually begins in the deep, quiet comfort of Milo and his big brother Max's mouse hole. It's tucked perfectly inside a bedroom wall of a human house. It's warm, and it's filled with little beds made of the softest, silkiest wool you can possibly imagine. But, well, there's just one tiny problem. Max is a snorer. He makes these snuffling sounds, sometimes it literally sounds like he's chuckling, and he just makes really funny noises in his sleep. Milo, on the other hand, absolutely loves deep, dreamy sleep. He's usually dreaming about his #1 favorite food in the world, which is cheddar cheese. And Max's funny snoring noises, they sometimes wake Milo up right in the exact middle of his favorite cheese dreams.
So, over a morning breakfast of toasted breadcrumbs, which sounds delicious, right? Milo makes a very brave decision. He whispers softly to his brother, "It's time for me to find my own mouse hole. I'm nearly grown up." He wants a place where absolutely nothing will ever bother him, so he can just have endless dreams of that delicious cheddar cheese.
Part 2. Milo's big adventure begins.
Max smiles, knowing his little brother loves to try things on his own. He gives Milo a big, supportive hug and warmly reminds him that there will always be a bed for him right there at home. Feeling very grown up indeed, Milo scuttles happily out into the big, wide bedroom. But getting out is a bit of a process. Step 1. He has to weave his way past a maze of gigantic, colorful building blocks. Step 2. He carefully scurries around all these shiny toy cars scattered on the floor. And finally, Step 3, he makes his way out to the hallway. Milo actually prefers things neat and tidy, just like his brother Max taught him, but he bravely pushes through the mess anyway, determined to find his new home.
Part 3. The Noisy House Tour.
As the evening rolls in, Milo has quite the schedule lined up. Right around 7 o'clock p.m., because like most mice, Milo needs a lot of sleep, he decides to try the living room sofa. Then, a little later at 7:30, he ventures to the kitchen fridge. And finally, by 8 o'clock as the night grows darker, he makes his way to the upstairs bathroom. Let's softly follow along to each of these stops, shall we?
First up, the living room. This room is bright with a truly beautiful wooden floor. As he walks, his tiny paws make this soft, rhythmic sound, click, click, click. He finds a very spacious hole right behind the sofa and cleverly makes himself a brand new, soft bed out of fluffy feathers he finds tucked in the sofa cushions. He's just starting to drift off to sleep, but then, just as his eyes are getting incredibly heavy, the room comes alive. He hears voices chatting cheerfully right above him on the sofa. There's music playing in the background, and when he peeks out, he sees this massive TV screen full of flashing, moving pictures making all kinds of bright noises. Milo just sighs, rubs his tired little eyes, and realizes that even though the living room is spacious, he definitely cannot sleep there tonight.
So he scurries along to his next stop, the kitchen. Tap, tap, tap go his paws. He's walking across these black and white floor tiles that honestly look just like a giant chessboard. He finds a lovely hidden gap right behind the fridge. He curls up snugly on a dropped kitchen towel, and his little whiskers start twitching happily because the air is just filled with delicious, cheesy cooking smells.
Milo lets out a big, squeaky yawn. He is so ready to sleep. But suddenly, he's startled by a terrible clinking and clanking. A man wearing bright yellow gloves is standing right at the kitchen sink, washing all the pots and pans with a great, bubbly gush of water. Milo realizes the humans are making entirely too much noise downstairs. If he's ever going to dream, he needs to go upstairs to find some real peace and quiet.
Part 4. A Quiet Bathroom.
Milo sleepily climbs the stairs. With every single step on the soft carpet, he lets out a tiny yawn. He walks all the way down the quiet hall until he finally finds the bathroom. It's dark, it's cozy, and it's completely silent. Perfect. He finds a tiny spot perfectly hidden behind a laundry basket and makes himself a tiny new bed out of stray cotton balls. But As he squeezes into the cotton, he realizes it just doesn't compare to the memory of his beautifully warm, familiar, silky wool bed back home. Still, he's so very tired, he just closes his eyes and takes a deep breath.
But wait, just as he's about to fall fast asleep, what is that noise? It sounds exactly like a rushing waterfall. It's a loud, gushing sound, honestly even louder than the kitchen sink.
Milo pops his little head out and finds his answer. The shower! Someone is taking a late shower! The glass is all steamed up and the water is just gushing down. Now, even though the flowing water actually sounds a bit like relaxing rain, Milo shakes his little head. He doesn't want to stay there. He knows there's another, much quieter room just down the hallway.
Part 5. No place like home.
Milo, feeling very, very tired at this point, pads softly back down the hall to the exact place where his grand adventure started. But look at what he finds. The bedroom is completely clean. The toys have all been neatly tidied away. He doesn't have to weave through a maze of blocks or shiny cars. He just walks straight across the lovely open carpet, letting out a delighted sigh when he spots his own warm, soft bed waiting perfectly for him.
Now you know what a lullaby is, right? It's a soothing sound that helps you gently fall asleep. Well, after hearing the loud, flashing TV in the living room, the clinking pots and pans in the kitchen, and that gushing shower in the bathroom, Max's familiar snoring doesn't seem annoying at all anymore. In fact, listening closely, his big brother's quiet snuffling and snoring is the most comforting lullaby in the whole wide world.
Max wakes up, smiles warmly at his little brother, and together they do step 1 of Milo's perfect bedtime routine: eat a delicious midnight cheese sandwich. Then, step 2, Max gently tucks Milo back into his cozy woolen bed, surrounded by that lovely familiar smell of home. And finally, step 3, Milo closes his eyes and listens to his brother's soothing, snoring lullaby. He finally realizes that while the big house is wonderful for daytime exploring, nighttime is for being home.
And so, it really makes you think. Have you ever noticed that the absolute best place to rest after a long day of exploring is your very own wonderfully cozy bed? Just like Milo, you can close your eyes right now, listen to the quiet, comfortable sounds around your home, and drift off gently into your own wonderful dreams. Good night, sleepy explorers,